As a realtor in Metro Detroit, I actually get this question a lot. Is it cheaper to rent or to buy here in Metro Detroit in 2026? Everyone keeps saying, just keep renting. It's much cheaper right now. But is that actually true in Metro Detroit in 2026? So instead of opinions, I ran the real math. Rents, home prices, interest rates, taxes, and even typical maintenance costs here in Metro Detroit. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly when renting makes the most sense and is actually cheaper versus when buying it might be the better decision for you. And as an added bonus, I'm going to let you, first time buyers, know what actually matters when you buy your first home here in Metro Detroit in 2026. And this is so that by the end of this video, you understand which option works best for you, your goals, and for your family. So by the end of this video, you'll have a better understanding about which option makes best sense for you and not just TikTok and Instagram opinions. So before we hop into it, I'm Metro Realtor Allen, and if you are thinking about purchasing a home in the next 6 to 12 months, go ahead and download my 2026 First-Time Home Buyer's Guide. It's tons of information, things like cost of living, neighborhoods, schools, and much more. It's linked right in the description. Go ahead and download that, and it answers a lot of questions that you might have when buying your first home. So let's get into it. So in this video, we're going to be comparing, is it cheaper to buy or rent in Metro Detroit in 2026? So in order to do that properly, we need to make a couple assumptions. So on the rental side, your average rent will be somewhere between $1,200 to $1,400 a month. And typically, that price range will get you a pretty nice one-bedroom apartment or a two-bedroom apartment that looks decent, has decent amenities, and it can also get you a small rental home. Now, if you've been renting for a few years, you probably experience your annual rent increases, usually around 3 to 5%. And we have to assume the reality of renting a home versus buying, which when you're renting, you're not accruing any equity and you're not, enjoying any appreciation on the asset that you live in, and you don't get those tax benefits. And that's normal because it keeps rent quite predictable short term, but long term, it's not fixed. And on the other hand, we have to make some assumptions on purchasing a home here in Metro Detroit. Typically, the first time home buyer range is somewhere between 180 up to around $220,000, depending on the market that you're getting in. But on average, that's about what you're looking at. Now, since this is your first home, it's fair to assume that you are getting an FHA loan, which puts your down payment at somewhere between 3 to 5%, typically 3.5%. Now, if you're the typical first time home buyer here in Metro Detroit, you're probably using that FHA loan, which gives you an interest rate. January 2026, there's been a little bit of fluctuation in the market, but that puts your interest rate somewhere between 5.5 to 6%. As of today, it's 5.85%. Today is January 26, 2026, and it's safe to say that your interest rate is somewhere between 5.5 and 6%. And typically, your property taxes and your insurance is lumped into your monthly payment. And let's say you're the responsible homeowner, you put some money aside just for maintenance. Just, a year down the line, that water heater breaks, you got money for it. So we want to assume that you have that little bit of money on the side just for things like that. And here we're not comparing luxury homes. We're not comparing that beautiful suburban home with a cul-de-sac, that with the 2.5 children and things like that. This is starter home territory. So let's say you're renting at $1,300 a month. Annually, that'll cost you $15,600. After 3 years of renting to include that annual increase of 3 to 5%, you've put down $48,000. And here, truthfully, you've gained no equity, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. What this means is you've paid for housing, which is exactly what you want to do, but you're not getting anything back. Now, that makes sense if you're someone who prioritizes flexibility, or you just don't want to put too much time and money into maintenance, or you have a short timeline. Like, let's say you want to move somewhere else in a year or two. With renting, you just wait till your lease ends, or you can even break your lease and go ahead and move. Now, on the other side, Let's say you buy a home at $200,000. Here's what your estimated monthly payment might look like. Your mortgage, your taxes, and your insurance might look somewhere between $1,400 to $1,500 a month. And let's assume you're a responsible homeowner and you have that maintenance reserve. I recommend somewhere between $100 to $150 a month if you can hack it. But let's say that number is $150 per month. Now, that puts your monthly payment somewhere around $1,600 a month. While that is more expensive than the typical rental payment here in Metro Detroit, it's only more expensive at first. Now, let's say you own this house for 3 years rather than renting it. You've likely paid somewhere between $8,000 to $10,000 of your principal down. And in normal markets, your home would appreciate 2 to 3% a year. And that means that you've appreciated somewhere between $12,000 and $18,000 during that period. That could put your equity position at $20,000 to $28,000 after that 3 year period. And that's money that stayed with you. It's money that you kept. And here's the key takeaway that most people miss. If you plan to stay less than 2 years, rent. It's the better option for you. It gives you flexibility, and you spend 2 years not having to shovel snow, cut grass, and something breaks, call your landlord. It makes sense for you if you're short term and you value flexibility. But if you plan to stay for 3 to 5 years or maybe more, it may make more sense for you to purchase. And here in Detroit, Metro Detroit, we're not in an overheated market like that in California or Texas or Florida. Prices here grow quite steadily, and that actually helps you long term. If you find this information valuable so far, go ahead into the comments and give me a thumbs up. Or if you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the comments as well. I would love to take your questions and make a video about them. Now, you've probably gone into Zillow and you've filled out one of those home affordability calculators, but there are just things that calculators won't show. And some of those are, if you're renting, you get flexibility, you get low responsibility, and you can leave easily. If you want to move, wait to the end of your lease and find somewhere else to live. Or if it makes sense for you, your family, or your goals to purchase, you actually get to save more money over time through forced savings, through principal pay down, and appreciation. You get protected against rent inflation, and you actually control your space. If you want a new kitchen, save up and you can get one. If you want that finished basement with a nice pool table and man cave for you and your friends, you can do that. Now, if you're renting and you want to transition into being a homeowner, your only risk is delay. It's not going to be the cost, because every year that you wait, prices and rents, they adjust without you. So is it cheaper to buy or to rent in Metro Detroit in 2026? The answer is it depends on you. Short term, that's 2 years or less, go ahead and rent. But any more than that, 2, 3, 5+ years, it may make better sense for you to purchase. So ask yourself, what's my timeline? What are my goals? Because the real question isn't what's cheaper, it's where will I be in 3 to 5 years. If you're thinking about buying a house in the next 6 to 12 months, go ahead and download my 2026 First Time Home Buyers Guide. It's going to be linked down in the description. It's going to have tons of information all about cost of living, schools, neighborhoods, and much more. So it can answer any questions you might have. And if you would like to execute and you're getting ready to buy a house, you can actually schedule a first time home buyer strategy session with me. It's also linked down in the description. You can get a call directly with me and we can actually game plan how we get you into your dream home in Metro Detroit in 2026. So I do hope that this information was valuable for you. If it was, go ahead and drop me a thumbs up in the comment section and ask any questions you might have. I'll look forward to going through them and answering as many as I can, and maybe I'll make a video about your question. This is Metro Realtor Allen. I can't wait to make the next video just for you.